tonight's schedule. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. This is Will, your host of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Everything that comes in from this channel goes directly into the reduction of SHIB. That's right, 80%. We do public burns on the channel. So once we get monetized from the SHIB, everything that we do representing SHIB 50/50 Raffle goes towards 80% of everything we bring in from YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp. Everything we bring in, 80% of it goes towards the reduction of SHIB circling supply. Yay! Everybody wins. Everybody wins who is reducing SHIB circling supply. I put a little logo in the description that explains a little bit of what the raffle means and what the power behind SHIB is. Little questionnaire for everybody. I suggest you read it and follow the guidelines. Just read it and answer the questions on your own, right? You don't have to come out and make a statement. If you want to, that's great. We appreciate anyone and everyone making a comment on this broadcast. We're here to give you a live update on the raffle draw. Absolutely. We're going to get right into that momentarily. We are late coming in, by the way. Just so that everybody has an understanding of what's going on, but we are late coming in. Okay, so if you haven't been paying attention, which majority of you haven't been paying attention, we have been able to do a 12 million SHIB burn recently. 4 hours ago was 267,141 SHIB gone to the dead end wallets. Again, that's from Shibarium. 2 hours ago, 7,500,015 and 411 SHIB sent to the dead end wallet. Right. So, and without 9 hours ago was 5 million even gone to the reduction of SHIB circling supply. So just to confirm the burns. Now we've added more wallet holders in the last 24 hours as well, which is awesome. We have now breached 1,516,324. That's right. Ariola, welcome back. Ariola, yes, how are you? If you haven't been able to notice, we have been able to reduce and increase supply, increase demand. So you're on vacation. That's awesome. Where are you vacationing? Where are you vacationing? Okay, so we're going to get into tonight's broadcast. Yeah, where are you vacationing? Ariola. Okay, so a few things I want to touch on tonight, Ariola, is I know as I'm interested to find out where you're vacationing to. Oh, okay. Interesting. Etherscan.io, the tracker symbol transfers SHIB tokens page. SHIB burns, the reduction in SHIB circling supply, SHIBburn.com. Dex tools, SHIB pairing utility, ETH, SHIB, and Bone, and I don't know why would anyone want to pay attention to that. Scarface! Wisdom. Great day, man. Thanks. Scarface. You don't have much internet? Ariola? Much love show to Scarface and Ariola. And how are you doing, Scarface? Yes, we're late coming in and bringing you a live update on the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle. Speaking of which, let's get into 10 updates, 5 new socials. You're doing good. That's great, Ariola. That's awesome. Okay, so we did not make any sales in the SHIB 50/50 raffle, so there's a carryover. Carryover for the next day. So what happens when we don't make any raffle? We don't sell any raffle tickets. We host the next event and we bring on some information for everybody to take part in, because this is all about what? It's all about you and I making money. That's it. We're all about being happy, wealthy, and hopefully with wealth you'll be healthier, right? You're able to go to the gym. You're able to look great. You're able to get out more, be able to do more, be able to focus on what makes you happy. You need to go now, Ariella? Well, that's okay. Best wishes, and thanks for stopping by. And don't forget, if you haven't already, subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. Thanks, Scarface, for coming in and saying something. That's awesome. Way to go. Appreciate it. We'll get back into festivities here of what we're trying to accomplish. So, surge in wall activity. We have that higher volume in movement into the cold wallets. So anyone that knows anything about DeFi and trust wallets, it's a security feature that's offered through cryptocurrencies. So it protects your investments through those blockchains. Certain exchanges also offer it, right? Like Trust Wallet is like an exchange. Once it goes there, it's like a DeFi. Crypto.com offers a DeFi right on their platform, on their blockchain platform. Cold storage is like a ledger. You buy it, and then you get it, and then you transfer your coin to there. They're going to give you a wallet address. You transfer to the wallet address, and then it's removed off the exchange. So then it's your currency. You have value in that. Okay, the exchanges are the ones that hold your value once it's on the exchanges. So just so you know, disclaimer: ER, massive love shout out to ER. Thank you. Okay, ER, what kind of financial advice are you looking for? Remember that we can't host you any financial advice. That's why I kind of laugh, because I'm not your broker. I'm not your analyst. I don't know your financial situation. Okay, so we promote SHIB. Any reason why we promote SHIB? Any reason? Well, affordability. It's affordable everywhere in the world. You have $76 in your account. Okay, ER, never publicly put the amount that you have in your account. How much of that are you willing to lose? That's what you have to ask yourself. How much of that? So if you were to go and buy a lottery ticket tonight, how much would you spend on a lottery ticket? Would you buy a $5 pack or a 6-pack or a $20 pack? What would you spend on a lottery ticket? Watson, hi Watson. Okay, so you would spend $76 on a lottery ticket? That's what you have to ask yourselves, okay, guys? When you're investing in SHIB is affordable everywhere because it's 4011285 right now. That means for literally $11.35 buys you 1 million SHIB. Okay, so ER, we don't know when SHIB is going to explode. We know it's going to eventually explode. It's inevitable. We just don't know when. So that's why we have to ask everybody. It could take, it could be tomorrow. We don't know. But we have to watch a few things for this to happen. And could it happen? Absolutely. But there's a few little things to watch for before it does happen. So it would financially set you on fire with $50 investment. Okay, which is basically like 3x. Buy 3 million, right? Okay. Good question, ER. How do you buy SHIB? Which country are you in? Jason Cox, you on? Mark Anthony, you in there? You on tonight, Mark Anthony? Jason Cox is my go-to guy for the United States. Okay, so you want to look into Robinhood. We strongly recommend Robinhood because, one, they have 120 trillion SHIB, SHIB, and the other one is they have lower fees than everybody else. So everybody has to compete with Robinhood. So you have to open up an account. Please keep in mind that when you open an account, you're going to need your wallet, you're going to need a license, you're going to need to take pictures of your license, front and back, submit it to Robinhood's. They're going to have a security questions, security concerns. They're going to ask you to do that. Well, that's a good question. You have to talk to Jason Cox. I don't know if he's on. Jason Cox, is he on? Because he's got SHIB, and he does the exact same thing. Every 2 weeks, he buys a lottery ticket's worth into his SHIB. Same thing with Mark Anthony. Same thing with Matt. They do the exact same thing that I promote, right? Just buy a lottery ticket's worth every 2 weeks. Boom, boom, boom. Done, done, done. I don't know if it's B or V. You can look up V and see, go and look up SHIB on their exchange. I can't do it because I'm a Canadian, so I get shut out right away. I think it's V. No problem, ER. Yeah, I think it's V. I think B is business and V is individual. That's how I would look at that. So it'd be an individual, and then you'd go in, open up an account, get your license. You have to take a front picture and back of your ID. Once you submit that, and then they're going to ask you a series of questions saying that you understand the risks associated with cryptocurrency. You're going to say yes. How much experience do you have? You're going to say moderate or beginner. Really doesn't matter. With beginner, they'll give you more tutorials. I don't know if you want that pop up, but that's what they do if you're a beginner. They give you a tutorial. So they show you how you do it, and then it gives you that little break in there so that you're not putting all your money in and then, oh, crap, I didn't want to do that. But it's pretty simple. You buy it. How much do you want to buy? I want to pay $50 worth. Or you want to do $76 worth, right? But the thing is with SHIB is no one knows when it's going to take off. It's inevitable that it's going to take off. We just have no idea when. It's 52x discount right now. So you're looking at, that's a lot, right? $76, by times it by 52, you're talking about a lot of money, right? It's not going to get you financial freedom right away, but it does get you there. It does, almost $5,000, $6,000, right? So, yay! On a $76 investment, that's awesome, right? $100 would be what? Well, it's almost 10, so it's, well, not quite. Yeah, so it's going to get you, like, on $100 would get you, 56. That'd be 5,600, right? On $100. So you're looking at 40 something, 47, 43, 4,400 USDT. That's not bad on your $76 investment. Or if you can't afford the whole 76, just go in and go $20 each week. And ER, we strongly suggest everybody buying it on Sunday. Why? Why do we always suggest buying on Sundays? Sell off Sunday. That's right. Cryptocurrencies has a knack for selling off on Sunday. Massive love shout out to Babe's channel. Oh, massive love shout out to ER. Massive love shout out to Marilla. Massive love shout out to Watson. Massive love shout out to Mark Anthony. Massive love shout out to Matt from yesterday. We had a great conversation with going on. We were on the channel for over 74 minutes, which is astounding. Okay. So we already talked about this. Thanks, babes. Well, we're doing all right. We're not doing too bad. We're gaining traction. We're gaining more wall holders every single day. So that's a good sign. When you start seeing when you start seeing massive liquidity coming into the SHIB, you're going to be looking for the burns. So you're going to go to shibburn.com. And again, it'll be on the channel at the bottom, toward the bottom. Also have videos on how to buy SHIB too. But it depends on which country you're in, because if you're in US, you have crypto.com, which is fantastic. They're not exactly cheap, but they are very secure. They're backed in US currency. So please keep in mind of that, right? Who else is good in the United States? Crypto.com, Robinhood, Coinbase, Bybit. Oh, there's a lot. Bybit's like 10 out of 10. Coinbase is 10 out of 10 for security wise. They're top notch, according to the statistics poll. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Let's be clear. SHIB isn't waiting for permission. That's true. SHIB is not waiting for permission. SHIB is a conductor of financial. It's going to be your financial go-to currency in the world. It's the people's currency. And why do we know it's the people's currency? Because no one else governs it except for the investors. So SHIB by itself can't make any mistakes. It doesn't have a CEO, CFO. It doesn't have any of these relationships. Now, you're going to say the development team, they have a burn wallet association. Yeah, but that burn wallet is directly proportional to the 3 wallet holders that Vladik Buterin created. All they did was do a shortcut, which isn't a shortcut if you think about it. It goes through them. DK. Okay. DK. Please don't do this. Whatever DK done, don't ever show the amount of money. You can show the amount of liquidity by your purchase orders, but do not show your profitability. Please don't do that. DK, that's very dangerous. We're growing in popularity every single day. I know that when you put DK on, but if you have a platform on your YouTube channel and then it's linked to your Facebook account, to your TikTok account, people are going to know you. People are going to, especially in this economy, there's a lot of, you know what there is. There's a lot of crap going on, and you need to protect yourself, right? DK, it's awesome. That's awesome that you made money on Coinbase last year, and it is in Coinbase too, right? Is US and Canadian and European and Asia, right? So they're literally almost all over the world. And Coinbase got bought out, or shouldn't say bought out. They got partnered up with Robinhood and BlackRock, because BlackRock owns Robinhood. So please keep that in mind. So ER, if you want to talk to DK, DK might have some insight into Robinhood and what he recommends, because I know Coinbase is expensive. It's like $5 a transaction, which is, it's okay, but there's Robinhood offers 50 cents to 25 cents transactions. There's a huge difference. Huge difference. That's why I said that when you buy massive amounts of SHIB, you can literally crush the competition with lowering the fees. KDK. I wouldn't have went that far, DK. That's awesome. You go, yeah, you go, you go all in on one and go all out on the other. That's awesome. Coinbase is good. It's secure. That's the number one thing. Coinbase is good. It's secure. It's a 10 out of 10 rating according to the stats. There's other platforms that got 10 out of 10 too. Bybit got 10 out of 10. Bybit is almost the same as Coinbase. And CoinGecko, everybody knows CoinGecko. Which one has the spread where it's like 10% difference? It's nasty. They don't charge any fees. Yeah, I wonder why. Because the spread's so far out that they're making money off the spread, and they don't charge any fees. It's awesome. That's their catch. That's how they get everybody. Because you're buying it at a higher price, you're selling it at a lower price. Yeah, that's how they do it. So it's hard to maintain and hard to track. So just beware of that. I don't know which one does it. I know CoinGecko used to do it, and Coinbase, I don't know if they still do it. When I traded Coinbase, it was 50 cents for the transfer fee, and they charged me $5 for the transaction from USDT to SHIB, SHIB, which I wasn't buying very much, only $50 worth. I think it was $50, $60 worth into SHIB, which is a drop in the bucket rate. But that's all we require of anybody is you want to protect yourself. You want to be in it, because that's what I keep telling everybody. You want to be in it. You don't want to be left on the sidelines when it explodes. And there's a few things to watch for. The Etherscan IO. Make sure you watch that one. Put in SHIB, and then it's going to say Shiba Inu token. You're going to say, yep, that's the one. Click, boom. It's going to give you the amount of wallet holders that is on Ethereum, not anywhere else. Anywhere else is around, their speculation is about 10 to 20, maybe even 30 million wallet holders worldwide. Now, wallet holders does not mean people, everybody. Just saying, right? Wallet holders does not equal people. Because I have 3 accounts, and they're all in SHIB, right? Of course, I have one for the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 raffle. I have to have one for that, and I have to have one through Canadian, which is horrible because their fees they jumped their fees up. They stopped going with a dollar fee. They went straight to 2%. Yeah, 2%. So when you sell it, 2% charge. Now you get to claim that off in your taxes, because it's an investment tax, and it's not a loss. It's actually a tax. Okay, you can actually write that off against just saying it's investments, because that's what it is. You're paying for investments, which is you're allowed to write that off, just so that everybody's aware for tax laws. Okay, now is that just in Canada? No, I believe that's throughout the world, because anytime that you're investing, the government likes it when you invest. Unfortunately, the government doesn't understand what investment strategies are really good for cryptocurrencies, because Dubai has really, really hit the mark. Dubai has really come out and said, listen, bring your SHIB to Dubai. We don't charge any fees to cash it out. You know why? Because you're probably going to stay at a hotel, and you're probably going to buy their food, and you're probably going to spend money in Dubai. So they want all your money coming to Dubai because they're smart. Your country, my country, not so smart. What do they want you to do? Oh, we want to tax that. Well, why would I get it taxed when I can go to Dubai and spend it the way I want to spend it? I want to spend it on vacationing. I want to spend it on leisure and relaxation. Why would I want to come to stay in my own country and support my economy when my economy is trying to do everything they can to make sure that I don't spend it by paying taxes on it, so that I keep it in SHIB longer? Does that make sense to everybody? You get it? You get it now? Like, if your country of origin and they want you to spend that money in their country to increase their economy, wouldn't it be in their best interest to have you just spend the money in their country, in your own country? Oh, I can travel, But if I have to pay taxes, the first thing you're thinking about doing, leaving. I'm going to get taxed on it. I might as well leave, put it in a cold storage or a ledger, transfer it, and when I get to the place of origin, just cash it out there. I don't pay taxes. It's on the ledger. And all of it's on the ledger. So I own all of it. I can just spend it in Europe. Malaysia, I can go, well, no one's going to go to Malaysia, but Greece, I can go to Italy, I can go to France, Spain. I can take cruises all over the world. All I got to do is get out of my country, move into a different country, because they love it when people bring money to those countries. They love you, right? They absolutely adore people who come in and spend money in their country. Absolutely. And then you go on a cruise. Then you can go on a couple cruises. A Norwegian cruise. You can go on the Bahamas cruise. Once it's on the ledger and you take it outside the country, all of a sudden you can transfer the money into what? Euros, pounds, right? Exactly. You can transfer it into any currency that you want. You bring your own currency, of course, with your MasterCards or your Visas, and you pay off your Visas as soon as you land over in a different country, stating that you're going to a different country. Then pay off your Visas as soon as you arrive there with your ledger. You cash out your SHIB or cash out whatever cryptocurrency you have at that time to avoid. But please keep in mind, in certain countries, you have to stay outside the country before you're allowed to come back in before paying taxes, because you'll still have to pay taxes, right? But when it's on a ledger, it's very hard to track because you can move it from, right. And you don't have to put it in U.S. funds. You can put it in whatever you want. Pounds, euros. You can put it in whatever you want. You can put it in U.S. dollars if you want. But if you're a U.S. citizen, you want to put it in something else, right? And you want to put it in something with higher value than your dollar. Exactly. So it has to be something higher than your dollar so you get the maximum value out of it. Right, exactly. You got it. Okay, so that's that one. Tools like Etherscan and SHIB Burn show you the truth. So that's absolutely the truth. It's absolutely correct. They do. That's what we keep a track of, is the burns and the amount of people coming in. Of course, we keep track of the price, but price really doesn't reflect value. SHIB's value is right now at 30595. And how do we know that? Well, because of Shibarium burned 56 billion SHIB last year. Yay! In total, right? Over 3 months, they burned 56 billion SHIB, which equates to about 306,000 US dollars. Woo! And everybody got excited, and they started, what was it? They started psychological, the light bulb went off. All the investors started to realize, hey, wait a second, we have less supply. That's going to drive up demand. So we took a 5x jump on demand. Yay! So when we took a 5x jump on demand, what happened? We hit 4055 for an instant. We closed the day off, closed a couple of days off at 45. So just 2 days, it closed at 45. And then it went down from there. But it roughly stayed around that 4045. So you go 12 times that price. That gives you your 694 billion SHIB removed from circulating supply, which was done over 4 years. What no one else caught on to. Everybody else was being told by the influencers, there's a lot of them during that time, saying the exact same thing. It doesn't mean anything. I'm sorry. I came up with a SHIB logo before, and I said $6,133,734.60 means nothing to everybody. No one has a clue what that means. Because if you did, every single person would be scared not to get into SHIB. Everybody would be driven to SHIB immediately. Why? What does that mean? $6 million given to every single investor as a buyback to every single investor. Powerful stuff, right? People still sell it. I think they're mad myself. I don't know you, but anyone who sells value for less than what it's worth is got to be a little nuts. And that's my opinion, right? It's not like a cake. Hey, listen, I can go and make a cake a day for life, for my lifetime. I can make 1 billion cakes in my lifetime. There's no end to it in sight. In fact, if I make 1 billion cakes, there's probably nine other companies or 10 other companies that's going to try and compete with me. Out of those 10, there'll be 1 or 2 that actually surpass me. And then out of those, there's going to be another 10 after another 3 or 4 years. They're starting to realize all the money they're missing out on. They start building cakes. The whole point of it is, it never ends. SHIB is reducing its circulating supply. Reducing, which means there's less available for the world. Less is more, right? So if you have less of something that everybody wants, and there's less of it, it's like houses. There's less houses available because we haven't built them to substantiate the housing crisis. So what happens? The demand goes up because there's less houses. People get that, but they don't understand SHIB. It's like, are you kidding me? This is even better than housing. Better than real estate. It'll jump once it catches on fire. It's just going to snap, snap, snap. Because there's not a single company in the world that doesn't want to make money. And this is a backup plan for them. Absolute backup plan. Because even if they don't make any money this quarter on whatever it is they're selling, they're taking a loss in the quarter. If they're taking SHIB and reducing the circulating supply with whatever profit, whatever it is they're selling, they're making money. So the investors are happy because their balance books are still balanced. They're not losing money. They're still making money. Even though they haven't made any sales or their sales have dropped 10, 20%, they're still making money. Investors love that because it doesn't matter. The bottom line is they're not losing money. If they're making money on top of that, then they're asking questions. Like, what happened? You took a 30% discount, but you're still up on your revenue of 30%. So you took a 30% 30% downturn, and you're still able to make a 30% profit? How is that possible? Well, we did what we had to do. We started reducing more SHIB with whatever it is we had coming in to offset the loss. You see the backup plan? How it works? Now you tell me which company, which organization doesn't want to do that. Which organization doesn't want that kind of backup plan? All of them do. Every single one of these companies want to make money. Even those that are in minerals. And the minerals, you know how minerals work. You know, you hit something one day, you didn't hit enough the next day. You've had a bad slump. There's like 3 weeks where you didn't hit a vein, cobalt vein or a silver vein or a gold vein. And then and then the gold quality too, right? Or silver quality. It's not the highest level. Well, if they were to do it in SHIB, buy massive amounts of it, and then with every single time that they make a profit, they're reducing the SHIB circulating supply of it, they could put those numbers on the books anytime they wanted to as their backup plan because it's literally not on the balance books for their liquidity. It's under special investment strategies. So they would even make more money, right? They're in a bad slump. Okay, you know what? We're going to switch and we're going to reduce SHIB circulating supply. Now, are they going to do it on bad times? No, on good times, not bad times. Bad times they can't. Bad times it's hard to reduce SHIB circulating supply. So what you do is you do offsets. So based on their quarter performances, they're able to actually make money during that quarter because SHIB is constantly reducing its circulating supply, constantly adding more wallet holders, and it's going to catch on. Now, how fast is it going to catch on? It hasn't caught on yet. We're not at value yet. And we're not burning, and we're not adding enough wallets. When you start seeing 10,000 wallets or 5,000 wallets being added a day, or 2,000 or 3,000 wallets being added a day, you're starting to catch the drift that everybody's starting to catch on to it. And then everybody's going to start piling into it because they want a piece of the pie, bigger piece of the pie. The exchanges haven't caught on to it, and they should have caught on to it long ago. And what really gets you a goat is Shibarium, because they could have formed any numerous entitlements with any partnership with Coinbase, with CoinGecko, Uniswap, Bitstamp, Bybit, any number of these exchanges. They could have went and said, listen, we're going to start reducing SHIB circulating supply. We're going to enhance your wealth. So we want a royalty kickback from you. That's all they had to say. And it would have been 10, 20%, 5%, 6%, even 2% would have been worth it. And then it would have snowballed, because what's going to happen is they're going to start realizing it. They're going to start doing it. And I'm shocked that the exchanges haven't caught on to it. I'm really shocked that, like, crypto exchanges, I hate to say it, but you guys don't think like banks at all. You're just about volume and putting out a narrative. Like, you do, we're going to give you $50 just for opening an account. Like $50. Think about it. $50 reduced in SHIB circulating supply every single day for the next 6 months to 7 months. Are you kidding me? People would be going nuts. I mean, KO, cryptocurrency, KO. Anybody know of it? It's in China. Okay, they're a cryptocurrency. They're reducing SHIB constantly. $1, $2, $5. Yeah. But they're doing it consecutively. Now, there's 20,000 exchanges, right? Not exchanges. 20,000 cryptocurrencies. Over 20,000 cryptocurrencies. I want you to do the math. If they were to do $5 burns every single day, how much SHIB would be reduced every single day? If 20,000 cryptocurrencies did $5 burns. It's over 8 billion. Over 8 billion. We did it on $2.10, because that's what they usually burn. It's 4,300 and something million. Like, it's insane. 8.6 billion SHIB removed every single day. Can you imagine? Every single day from 20,000 cryptocurrencies. Now, why would they do that? Well, it increases the price of them. Yeah, I would say that would be probably around 100x. And how much did they actually have to spend a month? Well, if you do the math, $5 a day is less than lunch, less than breakfast when you think about it. For an exchange, for a cryptocurrency, that's peanuts in the glass if they're getting 100 times that back in their wallet. And then what's going to happen? They're going to go to $10, then 20, because now all of a sudden they're starting to see what? The benefits of reducing its circulating supply, because now it's starting to explode. Now we've got a domino effect going on, because we have 20,000 outlets reducing SHIB circulating supply. And then the exchanges, if they're not, really thinking about it, should have caught on to it before, when Vlad Buterin burned to 410 trillion. They're like looking at it going, well, we had to wait 4 months to get our return back. He burned $6 billion. That wasn't given to him. That's what he burned. $6 billion worth of SHIB. 72 million % increase. 72 million % increase in price. I don't know about the rest of you, but holy crap! Broke world records. No crap. Can it do it again? Absolutely. But what has to happen? Someone's got to take on that risk for 4 months. and say, okay, because he made $40 billion. Yeah, Ethereum made $40 billion for 4 months. That's $10 billion a month. If you took another $5 billion and reduced it, SHIB circulating supply, 4 months later, we get another massive run. Yeah, now you're starting to catch on, right? And we went from $5 to $6 billion transactions per day. Now it's going to be 7 to 8 billion transactions per day. Then you're going to burn more. Well, guess what? That's going to escalate. Of course, it's going to go to 10 to 12 billion dollars worth of USDT traded every single day. And it's going to stop when? When's it going to stop? When the supply hits ridiculously low prices, ridiculously low valuations. Okay, so once we start increasing market cap exponentially, then you're going to see SHIB just stop having these transactions. But before then, as long as there's trillions of coins available, you're always going to get people thinking that it's the end. Get out, get out, get out, get out. And you have panic attacks because they are holding trillions of SHIB, but they're not going to hold trillions of SHIB for long because they're thinking, I have to get out because it's going to go down. It's going to go down. It's happened before. All the cryptocurrencies all act the same way, except for SHIB. SHIB is on its own. It does its own thing. It doesn't have the same aspects as the rest of cryptocurrencies. Now, a lot of them would say that, well, Bitcoin, everything follows Bitcoin. SHIB won't follow any of them because SHIB's the only one that's reducing its circulating supply constantly. It's the only one that can. The rest of them, they can mint as many coins as they reduce. So if they can mint as much as they reduce, that means that they are out in the cold, as we would say, because eventually they'll make mistakes. They're a financial institution. Financial institutions are based on liquidity that is coming into the marketplaces as long as the risk tolerance is high. SHIB, there's no risk tolerance at all. That's the one thing people have to understand. Demand on something that's always reducing its circulating supply only creates more demand. Better than the Elmo doll in the 90s, right? No, 2003, 2004, Elmo doll. Remember the Elmo doll? Everybody running around trying to find this Elmo doll because it only had so much in production and did like 5 voiceovers. Most of them were giggles. But everybody wanted them for their kids from Sesame Street. And there's a big, huge demand. But after, you could find an Elmo doll in every store. But everybody wanted it for Christmas. But in January, February, March, they're littered all over the place. There's dolls all over the place. And there was too much supply and not enough demand. SHIB doesn't have this problem. It's always going to be what? In high demand. If you're always constantly making money, buying into it, and you're making money with it, what's going to happen? It's going to create more demand. Exactly. When you reduce it, that means there's less for the world to take part in. So you have less of supply. That means 5.3 billion investors. I talked about this yesterday. 5.3 billion investors just waiting to find something that's going to make them money. And the fact that it hasn't caught on yet just blows my mind. Like, we should be above value, which is the 30595, right? We're nowhere near that. We're nowhere near that. And how do we get that? We talked about that before. 12 times whatever Shibarium burned. 306,000 USDT given back to the entire SHIB community. Like, that's insane. That's insane. Insane in the membrane. That's okay, because that's insane. Right, so there's less supply for everybody else. You got it. So 5.3 billion SHIB available to the entire world. No, that's 5.3 billion people that can buy SHIB. And it's affordable at this price. And it's trading at 52x discount according to its volume based on the Shibarium $306,000 worth of USDT burned for the entire SHIB community. And 12 times that would give you where the valuation of SHIB should be. Now, should we be trading in value? No. Does every company trade below? No. They trade above value. Every single one of them trade above value except SHIB. So if someone tells you, is it a good time to get into SHIB? Absolutely. You have 50x reasons to get into SHIB today just to get to value. Now, most financial institutions trade at 10x their value. SHIB isn't. It's not. And a lot of people would be like, half a cent? Less, yeah, it's half a cent. That's what the value, market valuation or market cap valuation would be trading at. You're guaranteed that it won't be trading at that. It's going to be trading at a lot less. But it could be trading at 2 zeros, 1, 1, 2 zeros, or 3 zeros, 9, 8, 9, 9, 9, 7, and then all the way down to 5, 5 again, or 5, 3 zeros, 5, 9, 3 zeros, 4, 9, in around that range. Absolutely it can, right? That would mean the market capitalization on it is better than Ethereum. I'm afraid that's the way it is because we're constantly reducing circulating supply. Massive love show to Matt. Matt, ER was looking at getting into Robinhood. They're saying there's a B and a V. B is business and V is individual. Is that correct? There we go. Perfect. So there you go, ER. If you're looking at Robinhood, it's V. So you'll get into the V category. Cover around globe, unfold from. Yeah, so we talked about this inevitability. So the inevitability of SHIB is that every single company, every single organization, every single outlet, fund manager, everybody's going to get into it. See, Matt uses Robinhood. He can guide ER. See, we all work together to benefit. He's saying he's got a couple bucks, Matt, to throw into it. I just reminded him that, listen, don't put any money values out. Don't say like DK put money value out. Don't ever do that on this channel. Only because we're all constantly adding new investors onto the channel. We also, you have to take the good with the bad, right? The good is people coming on, having a good time on the channel, and then you have others trolling, looking for ways of getting people's money from them. So we don't sell anything. We only promote what we have, right? So the raffle tickets, they are on sale. They are on the website, but we don't sell them off of this platform. Everything that we make off the platform, 80% of it goes directly into the SHIB Burn Wallet Association, right? So that means anyone wants to throw out $25, $30, or $5 or $2 into the channel. Once we get monetized, it'll be on them. Again, 80% of that will go toward the reduction in SHIB circulating supply, which we will do differently from the raffle burn. So it'll be totally separated. Probably once every month because that's when we get paid, or every time we get over $100 from YouTube or Rumble, or it'll be the same pretty much right across the board. Instagram, Facebook, Threads, yeah, it's going to be the exact same. Yeah, well, anything that you want to make money fast in, and here's the one trick pony. You're going to have to invest it and take chances on it in other. So ER, if you're listening, if you're looking at making a fast buck, SHIB is not probably your animal. It can explode tomorrow, and then they'll be like, oh, you're a liar. But there's few things you have to watch for in SHIB before it explodes. So one is, and it could happen instantaneously, we don't know. One is the amount of reductions. Okay, that's number one. And if a massive reduction happens, it takes 4 months. People, please pay attention. It takes 4 months for the light bulb to go off. It's happened twice already. It took 4 months for that light bulb to go off. I don't know. I don't make the rules. It's just the truth of it, right? So please, when you see a massive burn, oh, I'm going to jump in now. You probably won't. You probably want to wait because people are crazy. First thing that happens is all the sellers stop. No, all the buyers stop buying because they don't want to pay a lot of money for the price. And then the sellers continue to sell it even though the buyers took a break. So then the buyers are like, hey, this is awesome. I'm going to be able to buy this at a reasonable price. Exactly. Because what happens is when we have a massive burn, people sell off. It's like a shock and awe thing. It's like, oh. It takes 4 months for them to realize, hey, wait a second. And literally 4 months. So if you had a massive burn today, you're going to have to wait till, when is it? September? September the 26th. Yeah, the exact, like right after the 26th, 27th. If you're not in then, you're probably going to be shooting yourself in the foot. Oh, it went down 5 or 6%. Yeah, that's a good time to jump in, right? Because it's probably going to turn around really quick on that 4-month period. Now, it doesn't mean exactly the 4-month period. It's in that range. So Shibarium did its. It took 4 months and a couple of days. And just before it was moving higher. So, but it wasn't moving, hey, Matt, it wasn't moving extremely fast. It went from 78 to 82, 82 to 92 in roughly 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And then it went like gangbusters on March 3rd. So it was moving higher. If you would have got in at 7.9, everybody would have been happy, right? 7.9 would have been around just after January 3rd, January 4th, because we took a dive after Christmas. It went up and then it dove down. And then it dove down to 77. You could have got in. Yeah, roller coaster ride. See, there you go. So, and then what happens? It went 5x from there. But it took a long time. It went to roughly set at that 92, 93. 5092, by the way, 992, so or 92, and then it went to 1,000, and then when it broke 1,000, it never went down. So when it broke that 1,000, it went up to 12, and everybody knows what happens when it went to 12, right? It went to 17. 4017. Literally in a few hours. Like, it was insane. It was insane. Okay, next day it went down. Right? We dove all the way back down to 13. I sold it at 17, thinking I'd be able to time it and get back in. My exchange shut down. Yeah. Pissed me off. I was looking at getting in at 1288. 5 zeros, 1288. Doubling pretty much my investment in SHIB. You know what happened? They shut me down. The exchange shut me down. They wouldn't let me back in to do any trading. I had to go and reset my passwords, reset everything. By the time I reset it, it took me an hour and a half to 2 hours. What happened? SHIB shot up to 2,000. In 2 hours, it went from 1288, 4020. Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. So I went and bought DOT. Because DOT was giving me 12.8% yield at that time. And then just last year, DOT said that they were reinvesting. Oh, I love those words. When someone says we're reinvesting, this is why we don't want to be in companies like that anymore. Because they do restructuring. When they start this nasty business of restructuring, or we want to revamp something, that means that they're reinvesting, which means that they're cutting their dividend, because they have to cut the dividend so they have the extra money to put into other projects. Now, if those projects don't pan out, they don't put it back into the dividend. The dividend never goes up. So just so that everybody's aware, why we love SHIB so much, there's no governing body to do that with it. So SHIB's on its own. It's for investors by investors. It's the people's currency. And that therefore it can't be touched. It's up to the investors what they choose as the value, right? But when you're constantly reducing circulating supply, you're constantly adding value. So what does that mean to everybody? That value in cryptocurrency doesn't mean a whole hell of a lot, obviously, because if it did, you would never see SHIB at these prices, which is awesome for people who want to get in, bad for the people that are holding it. And ER, if you're looking at making a fast buck, trying to get yourself out of a jam, and you're talking about less than $100 to do so, very tough market. There are other alternatives, REM, but it's short term, right? And I don't know if you want to margin, go on. Like, I don't recommend margining to anybody, only because it's so risky. Like, it's literally very, very risky. You have to have 3 winners to 1 loser to break even. That's insane. So it's not 50-50. Everybody think, oh, it's 50-50. No, it's not 50-50. You have to have 3 winners. You have 3 winners. You lose once, all the money that you made, gone. So you left with your balance again to go and reinvest, but you're left with the balance. Yes. But if you didn't win 3 times, you have no balance. You have to go and get the balance back. You understand? So breaking even is not balance. Okay. So you can reinvest it again, but now you have to win the next 3 times to have 1 loser. If you can't do that, then yeah, then it's not for you. That's options trading, okay? Forex trading. A lot of people, everybody tells you, oh no, you'll make money. Yeah, they want your money to go into the pool so that you're constantly feeding the pool, because everybody, a lot of people are like bad gamblers. They like chasing money that they're missing out on, or they believe they're missing out on. Oh, somebody made money here, somebody made money there. How come I'm not making money? The reason why you're not making money is because you're the last one into the punch bowl. You want to be one of the first people into the punch bowl, and also the first person out of the punch bowl, because everybody's filling it. And then everybody's scrambling to get out of it, leaving you with scraps, a couple of ounces of liquid, which, don't pay the bills, right? So if you're talking about under $100 and you need it right away, you start turning your money around right away, you want to be buying other liquidities, and their risk tolerance has gone up high. So that's why I said, Matt, that's why I recommended SHIB to him, because there's nothing else out there. You can put it in Tesla, take your chances. You can take your chances with Microsoft, because it's a solid foundational company, but for anything under $100 is not going to get you a lot of liquidity. It's not going to make you rich either, but it might be able to drive it up 25-30% within the year. But on $100, 25% is only $125. So you got to take it with a grain of salt. And most of them charge $3.50 minimum. Quest Trade, you can get Quest Trade right now. They give you 10 free trades, but there's always a catch. Always a catch, right? You have to have so much money put into it, and it has to sit there. Yeah, there's stipulations on everything. They give you the free trades, 10 free trades. You have to have the account for more than blah, blah, blah. You have to have a certain amount of money in it. So if you wanted to start off with $100, they'll probably snarl at you, but because it's not like cryptocurrency. You put $100 in cryptocurrency, they give you $10, $100, no. $25. Some of them give you $25, $30. That's on new exchanges. New exchanges is high risk because they don't know the security ins and outs for other organizations that go around and hack the cryptocurrencies. You need to wait 4 months after big burn. Okay, good question, Matt. Okay, so Matt's asking, 4 months after a big burn, how big does it have to be? So let's say right now we have Binance coming out with their burn. It's going to be $1 billion. We're not going to see anything come out of that because we've had 4 burns last year. No, 6 burns since they started burning SHIB. They've done 6 times. 6 billion SHIB removed. Didn't do a damn thing for the price. Right? We didn't have a spike. Nothing. 694 billion SHIB removed over 4 years. Because it was over a duration of time, people didn't see it. That's why our value is so high and why we're trading so low. Because it didn't get recognized. So how much? I would say probably around 25 to 30 billion SHIB removed in circulating supply. And then you'll see a pop after about 4 months. Go figure. Right? You get 100 billion SHIB removed. It's still going to take 4 months, but it's going to be a lot longer. So we had 43 days of where it went up and down. 43 days, but the average volume was between $6 and $7 billion transferred every single day. That's almost the entire supply being traded daily. So that's what you're looking for, is that volume pickup. That's massive. When you start seeing that volume pickup, you know we're on a roller coaster straight. Well, we're not on a roller coaster. We're on blast off mode. Right? So, yeah. That's what you can expect from that. So those are the things to watch for. Another thing to watch for is constant gains. So just before, like after Shibarium burned, we had some up and down days. But majority of what we were doing was up days. So it constantly went up. It never went right back down to where it was. Like it went from 1,000 or just under 1,000, 99, 98, 5098, and then it popped up a little bit, went to 1,000, 12, 1,200, back a little bit, but didn't break at 12. It went above 12. It went to 1280 something, then back down to 12, almost even with 12. Then it jumped up to 17. Right? It went. People were expecting it to jump to 15. Oh no, it surpassed 15. It went 17. But that was after March 3rd, right? Please keep that in mind too. But we were, got to remember, we started at 77, 507778, and then it went to 82, 83, 84, back down to 83, 82, up to 86, 87, and stayed around for that 88, 5088 for like 3 or 4 days. It didn't move. And then we got to 9. Like it was constantly going up. But that was in February, right? So we're starting to see that pool where it was starting to, the light bulb was starting to go off and the volume was starting to pick up. So it was starting to pick up because we're dealing with approximately $400 to $500 million in transactions per day. And then it went to billions, 1, 2, 3 billion. And then 4, 5 billion, then 5, 6, and once it hit 5, 6, of course, we're on a rocket ship to 5x, like within 12 days, 12, 13 days from that time, period. That was absolutely astounding, right? 14, we hit 14 days, we hit all-time high from before, on the 56 billion SHIB removed. So I would think that 20 billion SHIB removed at one time would set a precedent, and people would be lacking to take in that. But that would be a good time to start looking for dips and buying more SHIB. So then your lottery tickets worth is probably going to go up to 3 lottery tickets worth. Right? And you're always going to buy on what day, Matt? Sunday, right? Sell off Sunday. Because you want to get the maximum amount of SHIB that you can get your hands on. That's the whole bottom line. Hey, let's say take advantage of people selling it. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the whole point of it. And thanks, everybody, for coming. I'm Will, your host of the SHIB Worldwide 50/50 Raffle. Thanks for coming in and taking part in tonight's festivities. Really appreciate you. We're here to have a good time. Make sure everybody in the world has a great time with with this channel, because that's what it's all about, is having fun, taking part in something that you're making money. Absolutely, everybody wants to make money, right? And that's what we're trying to get out the world, get out the message out to the world, is that we're constantly adding value, making money for everybody that's in SHIB. SHIB's got that ability. We don't have to worry about people selling it or buying it or anything. SHIB's constantly adding value, so everybody has an opportunity to take advantage of it. And that's the truth of it. And that's why it's the people's currency, and that's why we stick behind it so forcefully. And that's why we only ever cover SHIB. It's not because we're passionate about it, because we know where it's going. We know where it's going. It's going to get there. We just don't know the distance, right? That's the only thing we don't know. We don't know the distance yet. But once it starts to snowball, we know it's not going to take long. You'll be surprised, right? Everybody will be surprised. 72 million% in 4 months. That's outstanding. Outstanding. And can it happen again? Absolutely, it can happen again. No problem. Givers and takers. Yeah, so yeah, massive love shout to every single person. Massive love shout to Matt. Thank you so much for helping ER. That's amen. We're all here to help each other. And I don't know everything. And if you're on a crypto exchange and you have no problems with it, and you're happy with that exchange, make sure you posted it and then tell us your experience with it. Don't share your money. Please do not share your value of your portfolios with anybody, especially on something on a raffle, on anything, because you know there's going to be a lot of people watching it, right? So please, 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 please don't share that information. That's privileged information. That is only for you. And don't even, if someone comes on and act like me, don't share it with anybody. Our financial advice is take it like a grain of salt. Buy a lottery ticket. Don't spend any more than a lottery ticket in SHIB. You don't have to. That's the beauty of SHIB. It's affordable to everyone on the planet. Well, right now it is. Right. Exactly. Good advice. Right. So as our popularity grows, of course, with popularity, you got to be careful. You can take the good with the bad. So we're all about having fun on the channel. Absolutely. We're all about making sure that we all become wealthy and healthy together. Exactly. That's what we're all about, is getting the message out to the entire world. That's our number one concern. Again, I'm Will, your host. Thank you so much for coming in. We always reflect on John 3:16. John 3:16 is where God gave his only begotten son as a sacrificial lamb for every single person on the planet. It's extremely powerful because we used to sacrifice lambs for the forgiveness of our sins. So we knew the price of our sin. Sin was death to something that was pure and innocent, had nothing wrong, and it had to die so that your sins could be forgiven. Jesus Christ took everything with him on the cross. Everything. He took everything for you, so that you would have the ability to come forth and have eternal life. Absolutely astounding. He took that that blood, that precious blood that was shed for you, so you knew the price of your sin, so that you could be forgiven. You don't deserve it, but you're forgiven. And then that personal relationship with Jesus Christ comes afterward, which is a beautiful thing, because you start to realize that, please forgive me, Father, for I've sinned. You understand what that means. And then he will forgive you for your sins. And, I mean, you can't get any more pure love than that. He didn't even know you. He gave his life for you. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. God bless each and every one of you. Jesus loves all of us equally. That's why our message is not for just one person. It's for the entire world, because it gives you that ability, which is amazing, an opportunity that is astounding, just purely astounding. No words can say, right? It's inevitable. It is inevitable. It's going to happen. We just don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to be fantastic when it does. And you want to be on the right side of it. And you don't want to be one of those people who's like, I should panic and sell it because I'm making money. Well, you could. And it's up to you, right? Every person's different, and cryptocurrencies is known for its distinction. When you have a lot of gains, to take profit is just a natural thing. And we don't degrade anybody for taking profits. Absolutely not. Take the profit wherever you can. You need the money, you need the money. It's that simple. God bless you, and take good care of yourselves and each other. Have a great, wonderful night, everybody. Until tomorrow, we'll want to settle down.